he's like, oh, I just had to dismember this guy. What have you been up to? Just like
yeah,
stuff.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today is October 24th, the 24th episode of our 31 Days of Halloween for 2025. We are chugging along. We're doing good. We've made it so far. And, you know, it's harder than it seems. I'll tell you that. But today's movie is going to be Cabin in the Woods. It's a movie that came out in, I think, 2011. Yeah. 2011. And this stars Chris Hemsworth, Jesse Williams, I think, and a couple other actors I don't know.
The guy that's in Step Brothers, the dad that plays the dad. I don't know.
The actor's name. What should we call it? Richard Jenkins. And Bradley Whitford's also in this movie too. People know him from Billy Madison. Also, he was the dad in Get Out. He's phenomenal in these mysterious, like menacing roles. I love this movie. This movie's a very interesting movie. It is a Joss Whedon movie, which is also an interesting fact in itself because it's so very different than a lot of the stuff that I've seen from Joss Whedon. So, yeah. First time watch?
Yes, first time watch.
First time watch. What'd you think?
This movie was very creative, very interesting, and a wild ride as it gets to the closing segments of it in the final acts. This movie, I mean, it had I don't know, the writing and the pacing kind of like, maybe it's just me that I kind of had issues following this movie until there's a lot of plot twists that are in this movie that happen. But this movie starts off, pretty straightforward. I mean, you get an opening that looks like it's like demon rituals or, just sacrificial rituals. And then you get this opening right to it to like a corporate setting.
Yeah.
And you get these guys and they're talking and they go into an office, and then it cuts to the next segment of the movie, which is our characters, which is Chris Hemsworth's character. We have the stoner. I can't remember names. It's so bad.
Marty's the stoner. There's Holden, who's Jesse Williams. Anna Hutchinson is Jules, and Kristen Connolly is Dana.
So we have these characters, and they're all college kids, and they're getting ready to go to a camp and a cottage or whatever, a cabin or whatever by the lake, and they go up there, and on the way up there they stop for gas, and we have this creepy individual. I think his name is Mordecai. And he talks about, that place should be condemned. They should have sold that plot. And then they keep driving, and once they go up there, you see that this place isn't what it seems, because there's a bird flying and it hits this wall and evaporates. So this place is contained. And they get to the cabin and they notice that things are just real off. Like there's a painting, they take it off the wall, and there's like it's just like an interrogation room on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that going on, and they're weirded out by it. They don't think anything of it, and then the night goes on, and then they're inside, and it has this whole vibe that literally feels like Evil Dead.
Yes.
Like
it does.
Basically a little floor latch opens up to go to the cellar, and you have this door that opens up, and they go down, and they do the same thing they do at Evil Dead. They open a book, kind of like the Necronomicon. They start reading it, and then the Latin comes, and then the stoner guy says, "Don't read it." Don't read it. And and he's high, so he's hearing voices all the time saying, "Read the words." And so they read the words, and then literally the same kind of horror tropes like start happening in Evil Dead. And you find out this whole plot twist that it's like an organization of devil worshippers or people that just feed on like horror tropes.
It's like a cult that definitely plays upon all of the different ways to like, I don't know if they don't do a whole lot of explanation in terms of like what exactly they're doing, but they are worshiping a god of sorts, and they're sacrificing people in very creative ways that play on many horror movie tropes that we've seen. There's immediate call outs from the beginning of this movie to the end with every kind of horror movie there ever has been, really. I think that's funny you mentioned Evil Dead because that's exactly like what they're going for. There's also the typical, so it's supposed to be somewhat meta, this movie, because you get the group of high school or college kids, whatever. You get your group of young adolescents, and they go, and there's the typical stop at the gas station, which is in every movie like that, where there's a group of teenagers, and then just the dumb decisions that, continue to go forward. And all the stereotypes are there. There's the jock, there's the preppy girl, there's the pretty girl, or there's the like not so like sure about herself girl, there's the smart guy, there's the stoner kid. So it's just once the plot starts to actually like unravel, it's very cool to see a lot. And it doesn't start till like the very end to really unravel, because you get what they do. Zombies they do zombies, they do a couple of other interesting like horror things, and I think it is like the third act when they get in the elevator, because like surprise the stoner makes it out with the girl who's not so sure of herself, Dana, and they end up in one of the rooms in this organization's secret like plot of this land. And
it's really, I think, where the organization is stationed. It's like the headquarters.
Yeah. So the cabin is a place where they can manipulate people and make these sacrifices. But under the cabin is the whole facility, where they can put out whatever kind of horror movie they're going to go
whatever type of simulation they're doing, as long as they have their subjects that they want that meet their criteria.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It's funny to see, especially when things start unraveling, because you see there's werewolves, you see there's mermaids, you see there's ghosts and ghouls and zombies and Hellraiser ripoffs and Strangers ripoffs and just a giant snake, and like it's very, very funny and hilarious, because all the corporate people are like all taking bets throughout the movie, and then all of a sudden the stoner and Dana make it out to the facility and pretty much unleash hell on the facility, and all the creatures get out and start killing everyone, and it's just like wild.
Yeah, and it's hard to follow. You're like, what is this in the first hour of this movie?
Yeah.
But then I was really, really bored with this movie. I'm being serious. I was bored until that final act happened. I said, okay, this movie has some sort of redemption now. Yeah. Because we have this wild scene, and then the plot just totally revealed itself of what this is. It did have a lot of funny parts. Like I thought some of the parts were hilarious. When Mordecai's on the phone and he's like, "Am I on speakerphone?" And they're like laughing and stuff that he is on speakerphone. And there's a part. There's also a part in there when one of the guys that's in the room, that's like one of the curators of this. He wants to see the merman, and he's like,
Yeah.
are you serious at the end? And then the merman gets him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious too. I also, there was a part with Marty, like asking Dana he's like, oh, I just had to dismember this guy. What have you been up to? Just like stuff like that, little just comedic elements to this movie to just make it funny. But overall, this movie was good. It was hard to follow at the beginning.
No, it definitely is a slower burn in the beginning act, the first act. Second act kind of picks up pace, and then third act definitely picks up like all the pace. So, yeah. What would you give this movie?
This movie's a 4.
Nice.
I wanted to mention also cinematography is really good in this movie. They did a good job with the lighting and the atmosphere of in the dark in the cabin. I thought it was pretty good. The music's okay. But like I said, the real hard hit is maybe just the pacing and just the writing and just more of finding out what is going on. But I think that's probably how this movie was set up to have a plot twist, and that's how it was written to be like this. So maybe that's where I'm getting all mumbled with it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna sit right alongside of you and give it a 4 out of 5 as well. I think this is a fun ride. It's very entertaining. It's definitely different. It's definitely not repeating something that we've seen before. Like it is in some ways, but it isn't because it's more meta, like I was saying. So it's just it's funny, and I enjoy it. So 4 out of 5 for me. And yeah, fun fact time.
Let's get some fun facts for Cabin in the Woods.
Fun facts for the Cabin in the Woods. The thermal coffee mug / bong was a fully functional mug and bong as portrayed in the film, the prototype of which cost $5,000 to make.
That's hilarious. He takes that thing and hits the zombie over the head with it. You remember? Yeah. That was another funny part, I thought.
During the lake scene, the only student not to jump into the lake is Marty, who remains fully clothed on a dock. This was partially due to Fran Kranz noticeably being in as good, if not better shape than the other male students. So, in the commentary for the film, the writers joke that he was ripped like muscular Jesus and assert that if Marty were shown being that fit, it would ruin the character. This is a partly also why Marty wears baggier clothes than the other students.
I get it. He's a little bit chubby.
That's funny. Much of the Drew Goddard's inspiration for the movie came from his own upbringing in Los Alamos, New Mexico, a place filled with scientists and coworkers, all going about their business and living seemingly routine and ordinary lives, even though they were building nuclear weapons that could potentially destroy the entire world. He talks about the DVD. This on the DVD special features interviews and commentary.
Cool.
That is cool. When Jules kisses the wolf when Jules kisses the wolf head on the wall, the wolf's tongue is covered in powdered sugar to give it a dusty look and to make the scene tolerable for Anna Hutchinson.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was kind of like weird.
Yeah. The failed rituals from other countries are references to various classic movies and monsters. The Kaito ritual is a reference to Ringu, the Ring. Buenos Aires ritual is a reference to King Kong. The Stockholm ritual is a reference to John Carpenter's The Thing. And the Madrid ritual appears to reference Dracula.
Yeah, remember they all failed?
Yeah.
Fail. He's like, we can't fail.
Kevin, one of the monsters in the whiteboard, is a tribute to the Elijah Wood character of the same name from the movie Sin City and the original Frank Miller graphic novel.
That is really awesome.
The scene where Kurt asks Jules about the textbooks, what are you doing with these? Who gave you these? Who taught you about these? And she answers, I learned it from you. Okay, I learned them from watching you, is a takeoff on a 1987 anti-drug PSA where the father confronts his son about drug paraphernalia. Oh my God, I can't say that word. And gets a similar answer. The floating head monster was played by the movie's special effects makeup artist, David Leroy Anderson, Heather Langenkamp's husband.
No way. That is cool. Didn't know he was a special effects person.
That's sick. Heather Langenkamp serves as one of the members of the actual makeup crew. She and her husband, David, own AFX Studio that created all the different creatures and makeup effects.
That's really cool. I did not know that about her.
That is cool. Jamie Lee Curtis was considered for the role of the director, which ultimately went to Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, forgot to mention Sigourney Weaver's in this movie, and she had a small role, but she was pretty good.
Yeah. Drew Goddard wanted Bruce Campbell to play the director also, but he was unavailable.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Let's see. Screenwriter Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon had considered several directors, including Victor Salva, as both men liked his Jeepers Creepers and its sequel. Goddard was actually hoping to direct himself until Whedon also stated the desire to direct his own screenplay. Finally, Whedon allowed Goddard to do the honors while he produced the movie.
That's cool.
The film's final scene, written by Whedon, is meant to be his version of the "You are always an asshole" Gorman scene from James Cameron's Aliens.
That's funny.
And let's do one more. The camper that the character drive to the cabin in is a reference to The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. There is a reference there. So many tropes. Like I said, this movie it was so creative with that.
Yeah. I mean, it says right here too, like this will be the last one, but it says The Evil Dead, 1984, Resident Evil, the Friday the 13th franchise, Cabin Fever, and Saw are considered influences behind this film. So it just, and so much more. Like just scrolling down, there's so many mentions of so many different movies, including Silent Hill and Twilight. Like random.
You see the twin. You see the twins from The Shining.
Yeah,
you see them. Okay.
Yeah, there's just so many.
It also reminded me of 13 Ghosts in a way too. With all the caged. It
was very much like that actually. Yeah. All right, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Go hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps us out. Or if you want to go over to patreon.com/thecalvincam, join one of our tiers over there. Really helps us out, builds us up. Also go follow us on our social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Would love to have you over there. So we can talk to you and chat. So yeah, thank you so much. And we'll catch you on tomorrow's episode.
See you then.